So the biggest surprise of UFC 240 was probably how good of a fight Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer was. You know, a lot of people weren't expecting that. Felicia Spencer went in there and just really made a name for herself. A lot of people weren't familiar with her, and she left there probably one of the most popular women's fighters in the entire MMA right now. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So what we saw was obviously Cyborg was coming forward, throwing her big punches, doing what she had to do, but Felicia Spencer was just taking it. You know, her facial expression just stayed the same the whole time. She wasn't panicked. It really just came down to her not having enough offense just to answer back, but everywhere else, she was right there. She was right there with Cyborg, one of the most vicious female fighters of all time. She stood in the pocket with her sometimes and just didn't look out of like she wasn't comfortable. I mean, she definitely didn't look like she was as athletic as Cyborg or anything, but she was still right there the whole time. You know, she caught her with that big elbow. That's tough to do. That's Cyborg, you know? Not too many people can do that. And I saw a lot of people getting on Joe Rogan for saying that, while sticking with the narrative that Cyborg was tiring. Oh, she's getting tired. She's getting tired. Well, let me talk about that for a second. If you pay attention, close to the end of the second round, uh, Joe Rogan exposes the fact that, oh, he thought this was a 5 round fight. And if it was a 5 round fight, yeah, Cyborg definitely looked like she was slowing down. Uh, it's close to the end of the first round, her movement started, it wasn't as crisp, and she definitely looked like she was slowing down, and it wasn't a pace she could keep up for 5 rounds. So people getting on Joe Rogan for that, for having that narrative, it was definitely a mistake because he thought it was 5 rounds, which really, if it was 5 rounds, that would have been a problem because you thought if you watch that fight again, Cyborg was slowing down. Let's not let that go. She was slowing the fuck down. Uh, if there was some power coming back at her in those moments when you could see that she was very fatigued, wow, she would have been in some trouble, some big trouble. Like, I hate to do this, but if it was Amanda Nunes in there that night, oh my goodness, Cyborg would have been in some trouble. There was some holes that were very big where Cyborg was really exposed to get hit, just because she was tired and you could see it. But hats off to Felicia Spencer. She went in there and she proved she's game as fuck. Not too many people can hang in there with Cyborg and not be afraid and take the punches, keep coming forward, get her against the fence, hold her against the fence, keep trying to take down and execute your game plan. Yeah, she tried her best. She really went in there and tried her best to execute her game plan. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Nothing to be ashamed of. That's Cyborg. Now everybody knows Felicia Spencer too. And her next fight is going to be an exciting fight. It's probably going to get a lot of eyes on it. So hats off to Felicia Spencer. Um, I could see her fighting maybe a Megan Anderson or something like that next. Or actually, no. She already fight Megan Anderson. I'm not sure. Not sure where she goes from there because that 145 division is that women's 145 division. There's not really too many, people fighting in that division. We'll have to see what they do next with Felicia Spencer, but they definitely have something with her. But in terms of Cyborg, that was the last fight on her contract, so she's gonna go into this free agency period where she's gonna get a lot of big offers from organizations all over the world. But the biggest money fight she can get is Cyborg versus Nunes 2. You saw that. She wants it. She had the shirt after the fight. Cyborg versus Nunes 2. That's just the fucking fight, man. Nobody wants to see Cyborg fight anybody else. I don't know. Dana White's been saying she doesn't want the fight. She's been saying she wants the fight. I don't know who the fuck to believe, man. I don't know. Because Amanda Nunes for Cyborg, that's a tough fight. She knows that's a tough fight. I don't know if she wants the easier fights at this stage in her career, or she's willing to do that tough fight, but fuck, man. That's the fight. That's the only fight people want to see. And I guess maybe she could go to Bellator and destroy everybody, but who's gonna give a fuck about that shit? Like, really, who gives a fuck if Cyborg goes to Bellator and fucks everybody up? It's just, for her legacy, she has to beat Amanda Nunes. That's just the way it is. It's just a fact. It's sad, but it's the fact. She has to beat Amanda Nunes for her legacy, or else it's really just fuck all. Who gives a fuck, you know? And that's just the way it is. But all in all, this was a fun fight. Felicia Spencer really proved everybody wrong. People thought she was going to go in there and get destroyed. I think she learned a lot from this fight, and Felicia Spencer will definitely be around in the future. And yeah, let's wait and see what Cyborg does. I'm sure Amanda Nunes watched that fight and was licking her lips. Yeah, let's go. It's an exciting time for the 145 division, I guess. And they just created a big, well, not a big star, but they just created something that people are gonna know and could eventually become a big star in Felicia Spencer. So yeah, it was a great fight. It was a great fucking fight. Yeah, what's up, my marks?